Ipse Dixit is Latin. It means basically he said so, and it's to describe a sort of arbitrary dogmatic statement which a speaker expects the listener to accept as valid. And this is also recognised as a fallacy when attempting to defend a proposition. The speaker just wishes you to believe their assertion by boldly asserting it. Essentially, they're saying that's just how it is. And this distorts the argument by opting out of it entirely. So rather than going into what supports your argument, you're just saying, oh, well, it's true. So there's a little bit more to this, because apparently courts recognise that a claim isn't true just because somebody says so. And you can see there's some incidences of courts here. For example, the US Supreme Court recognised the problems of opinion evidence which is connected to existing data only by the Ipse Dixit of an expert. And this is obvious. Something isn't true just because somebody said it. Now the question arises though, since courts recognise that witness testimony is not true just because they say so, the question is, can we turn this around and apply it to the judiciary? So can we say to the judge, well, hang on a minute, does this law apply to me, and how do you know it's a law? Because of course laws for the better part are just legal pronouncements made by somebody who happens to call themselves a legislator. And of course what you'll find is if you challenge the legislators and the people who believe in them, they'll all resort back to this Ipse Dixit that, oh well, he said so, or they said so. So of course this really exposes the hypocrisy of legislatures. Philosophically they don't make any sense. They're just exactly the same as religious dogmatists who, people that say, oh well, if you work on a Saturday, you should be stoned to death, and so on and so forth. It's got nothing to do with law at all. It's just somebody's opinion. Because this kind of begs the question, well, how do we know what law is if it isn't just opinion? And there is kind of a logical argument to this. For example, if I accuse somebody of murdering, and they get into court, and we say, hang on, we think you murdered somebody, here's the evidence, and they say, well, no, it's okay to murder people, then you can say, okay, well, you won't object then if your accuser murders you. And similarly, you could apply this to theft or rape or any of those other kinds of things that people in general, 99% of the human population, maybe more, don't want to be raped, don't want to be murdered, and don't want other nasty things happening to them. So nasty things happening to persons can definitely be supported as being laws or almost laws, because of course the term law really means universally applicable. And so anyway, that's the end of Ipse Dixit, and you can start looking around and seeing where you can apply this elsewhere.